Mr. President, I rise today to discuss the pending business on the floor. You and I both arrived in the Senate at the same time, 10 years ago, when you and I had barely been here a few days. The country was shocked with a tragic shooting, the Sandy Hook shooting in Newtown, Connecticut, when a deranged monster came in and murdered little children, elementary school children. Everyone across the country was horrified. And over the past decade, we've seen that pattern repeat itself over and over again. Tragically, my home state of Texas has seen more than our fair share of horrific crime, of mass murder. Most recently, in Uvalde. I was there in Uvalde the day after the shooting, where a deranged monster murdered 19 little children and 2 teachers. Before that, I was in Santa Fe, where yet another deranged monster murdered school children. I was in Sutherland Springs, the worst church shooting in U.S. history. I stood in that sanctuary the day after the shooting. A beautiful small country church. The pews had been flung aside in the chaos. There was shattered glass. There was a cell phone with a shattered screen covered in blood. When I saw the pool of blood where an 18-month-old child was systematically murdered by that psychopath. I was in El Paso. I was in Midland, Odessa. I was in Dallas. Over and over again, we have seen the face of evil. We have seen horrific crimes. And let me be the first to say there are too damn many of these. And we need to stop them. Unfortunately, I've also seen what inevitably follows these horrific crimes, which is a political debate that breaks out within seconds of the crime occurring. There are 2 principal approaches one can take to try to prevent crimes like this. One is to target the bad guys, to focus on criminals, to focus on felons, to focus on fugitives, to focus on those trying to illegally buy guns, to put them in jail, to lock them up, to get them off the street so that they cannot terrorize and murder innocent people. That's the approach that actually works. That's the approach that is actually successful. That's the approach that is most likely to prevent subsequent mass murders. There's a second approach, which is an approach that is disarming law-abiding citizens. Inevitably, Democrat members of this chamber, minutes after an attack, move towards wanting to disarm law-abiding citizens. That approach is, I believe, number 1, unconstitutional. But number 2, it doesn't work. It is ineffective. Put simply, taking guns away from law-abiding citizens, disarming you or disarming me, is not going to stop a mass murder. And we know this. If you look across the country consistently, the jurisdictions with the strictest gun control laws, over and over again, have among the highest crime rates and among the highest murder rates. When you disarm law-abiding citizens, what happens is the people who follow the law disarm. That's almost by definition if they're law-abiding citizens. But the criminals don't follow the laws. And if you disarm all the victims, The result is it's easier for the criminals to commit their acts of mayhem. Mr. President, let me point out a statistic that many Americans don't know. It's a statistic that comes from the Barack Obama White House, so it is hardly a right-wing source. According to the Barack Obama White House, every year in America, firearms are used defensively to stop a crime between 500,000 and 1 million times each and every year. What does that mean? That means that if Democrat proposals to disarm law-abiding citizens succeed, the result will be even more crimes. The result will be those 500,000 to 1 million crimes that are right now stopped every year won't be stopped. That means more assaults. That means more sexual assaults. That means more murders. That means single moms riding home on the train, if they're not able to have a revolver in their purse to defend themselves from marauding criminals.
Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. And while you're at it, please leave us a comment. Thank you for watching.